But first, I'm John Bachman, and pretty soon President Obama will go behind closed doors for this afternoon's power lunch at the White House. The press is not invited to the meeting with congressional leadership, but we do know what they're going to be talking about. President Obama wants approval for billions of dollars in funds to fight Ebola, and Republicans, including the presumptive future Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, want to talk about tax reform, the economy, and the Keystone XL pipeline. The president is also promising to take action on another hot-button issue, immigration reform, with or without Congress.
Before the end of the year, we're going to take whatever lawful actions that I can take that I believe will improve the functioning of our immigration system.
Another topic of discussion may be the nomination of a new attorney general. Right now, Loretta Lynch, a federal prosecutor in New York, appears to be emerging as the president's choice, or at least his top candidate. And the Department of Defense will investigate why a National Guard helicopter crashed near Boise, Idaho late last night. The crash left 2 guardsmen dead. Their names have not been released yet. The National Guard says the 2 pilots were on a nighttime training mission when their Apache helicopter went down about 2 miles south of the National Guard Air Base at Gowan Field. And a group of migrants who landed on a beach in the Canary Islands off Spain sparked Ebola scares this morning among vacationers. About 21 men arrived on the beach around 8:30 Wednesday morning. They told authorities they were from the Ebola-stricken nations of Sierra Leone and Guinea. A number of migrants reported symptoms associated with the deadly virus, but officials then quickly confirmed that none of them had Ebola. And the drummer from AC/DC is no longer facing those murder-for-hire charges. Those charges were dropped due to insufficient evidence. However, Phil Rudd still faces drug possession charges and threatening to kill charges. 2 days ago, Rudd was arrested in New Zealand. AC/DC says the drummer's arrest will have no effect on the release date of their forthcoming album. And the Cleveland Browns may have won last night's game against the Cincinnati Bengals, but the real winner was Bengals defensive tackle Devin Still, whose 4-year-old daughter Leah got to see him play for the first time. Leah is fighting cancer, but she was able to fly to see the game. The Bengals raised enough money, and they presented Leah and her family with a check for pediatric research totaling more than $1 million. Kind of gives you chills, and that's great to see there. She's been very sick, and you can see she's affected by cancer, having to wear that mask and no hair on her head. We'll have another Newsmax Now update coming up for you. Of course, we're keeping our eye on what's going on in Washington, D.C. The president meeting with congressional leadership today. We do not expect to be allowed to inside that meeting to hear what anybody's going to say. All we can hope for is a quick pool spray from the national media. We'll try to get that to you as well. Hopefully some other tidbits will come out of that. Also, we'll keep our eye on the Loretta Lynch situation, the possible next nomination from President Obama. She could be the next attorney general nominee. Of course, she's not a very well-known prosecutor from New York City. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll have another update coming up for you in 30 minutes. I'm John Bachman. Now back to Midpoint with Ed Berliner.